I had to do it. I had to do it. What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with Technical Solutions, and I'm not making this up. So GameStop yesterday announced that it was going to be, or it had a unanimous decision. Let me go ahead and read it word for word just so I don't mess this up. The video game operator turned popular meme stock said in a release on Tuesday, that was yesterday, that it had unanimously approved an update on its investment policy to add Bitcoin as a treasury reserve asset. The absolute bullshit of a company you have to be like MicroStrategy, a failing company since the early 2000s that cannot turn a profit. Very similar to GameStop. GameStop, the only reason that it's still here is because during that meme stock movement, because of all those Reddit traders, when it pumped up to those extreme levels, GameStop, the company itself, locked in profit. It sold some of its shares and had $5 billion in its balance sheet and paying off its debt. So it simply bought itself time. Now, again, imagine being such a terrible company. You can't turn a profit. You can't grow your business that you simply resort to, well, I'm just going to resort to buying Bitcoin. You jump into the hype where all the hype is present. And again, it's a positive catalyst, no question about that. And in my opinion, and it's just my opinion, it's a short-term positive catalyst. It causes the stock price to go up. It excites a lot of crypto bros and Reddit idiots, right? And the price pumps maybe for a few days, maybe, right? Or maybe just today. And then it corrects itself because, again, at the end of the day, it's still a terrible company. Bitcoin's incredibly overvalued. And it's like, again, the whole thing of buying Bitcoin right now as it's at about $100,000 per coin or whatever it's at right now, 90,000, 85,000. Again, buying Bitcoin at these levels, we all know one thing, Bitcoin always crashes. It would be absolutely hilarious to see these terrible companies like MSTR, Mara, and now GameStop buy and add Bitcoin to their holding at an average price of 88 to 90,000. And when Bitcoin crashes 20, 50, or 70% as it always has in the past before, guess what will happen? I would love to see that for GameStop because, again, when you can't grow your business, when you can't grow your company, resort to Bitcoin. That's the theme here. That's the circus that we're working in right now. And I'm not going to be like all those other people that try to convince you, no, you need to buy this crypto, or no, you need to jump into GameStop because it's going to the moon. I don't want you guys to follow my short on GameStop, but I did just open up a short position on GME, and I opened it after it pushed up 15% on the day. It's a very small short. Again, I can show you guys the position size. It's about 1,400 shares. It's roughly right around $42,000. And I'm very excited to see where it goes. I don't have huge hopes for it. I just wanted to see if I can catch a nice little downswing, a lot of consolidation here at $28. But we all know one thing. Especially with market conditions being a little bit more bearish today, one of the shorts that I had was also on Tesla. Let me show you guys that one very quickly. Tesla 4.4K, we caught it during today's live trading session. Finally, I took a trade today with our live trading session. I haven't traded since Friday, and it's because direction was finally in our favor. Just like I talked to you guys yesterday, markets have been incredibly bullish. Although markets were overbought, they were not conditioned to sell off. I wanted to get confirmation below the 5-minute time frame, right? Or on the 5-minute time frame below that moving average. We finally got that confirmation today, and it worked out beautifully. Remember, my focus is not to trade when I want to. My focus is to trade when it makes sense. And simply my criteria was met today. I locked in profits, I cashed out, and now I'm waiting for the next one. But as of right now, my little focus and what I'm paying attention to is I wanted to have some fun with GameStop. There's a bunch of idiots that are buying into the hype. They think that this is ultimately going to change the direction of the company. We all know how this story ends, right? It happened back in 2021. We caught that whole movement. And again, as markets continue to drop, as more fear continues to get injected into the market, what do you think is going to happen to those bullshit companies? You can try. And it will always happen where very influential people can cause a positive catalyst for their shit stock for a short period of time. But fundamentals will always come into play long term. You can buy yourself time, but you simply cannot change the true direction of your bullshit company. Please, please, please. Again, I don't want you guys to short. But please, for those that are for those that are being convinced that you need to buy into these stocks because they're going to be pumping up, just calculate your risk to reward. does it meet your criteria? And ask yourself, is this actually fundamentally something that changes the direction and the longevity of this company? Or is catching Bitcoin as it's already retracing and failing a terrible setup, even more now than it was before for GameStop? The little money, or no, the few billions of dollars they do have in their balance sheet because they were able to liquidate at those extreme overbought levels, now they're going to use or leverage some of that capital to buy Bitcoin. What can go wrong? Again, I'm very excited to follow up, and like I've said it before, I will never be here for me to convince you to do what I'm doing. I don't want you guys to short. It's incredibly risky. Let me make that very, very clear. This thing can continue to pump, and then at that point, again, that's why my position size is a little bit on the lighter side. I need to make sure that I manage and mitigate my risk. But again, it's knowing that the difference between an investment and a pump and dump. We all know how this story ends for GameStop, as it always ends. We all know, especially when conditions for the market are bearish, how things can get worse before they get better. Please do not put yourself in a position that you simply cannot tolerate. I'm very excited to follow up. Please make sure, especially on days like this, that you don't fight the trend. It's very exciting days like this where you can put yourself in a very good position or wait for your criteria to be met when the direction is in your favor. If you don't like shorting, that when markets do begin to recover, at least you have more margin for potential recovery. Do not fight the trend when the trend is incredibly bearish. Lower highs, lower lows, and again, the sentiment is beginning to change back to more fear being injected into the market. More people are talking about their concern when it comes down to Tesla and Elon's affiliation in politics. So again, things can definitely get worse before they get better. So I just wanted to make sure that I came on here. I talked about what is currently going on with the market and how things are currently retracing. So very excited to follow up. Hope that earns a thumbs up. Hope to see you for tomorrow's live trading session. And if you want to tune on in, that's that second link in the description down below. And excited to keep you guys up to date on that GME short. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.